Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to our first community call. We'll probably give another minute here for uh, folks to join in more, and we'll get started right away. All right, I guess we should probably get started. So, welcome to our first of the AKS community calls today. So today we are going to be starting our monthly roadmap calls, where each month we will go through our publicly available roadmap and understand the progress on the AKS features that our team has been developing. We are definitely excited to have you today attend this session. So today's session is being delivered by Phil Gibson. Phil is our senior product manager on the AKS team. He's been working with Microsoft in various roles for over 16 years. And prior to that, he's also been working with Docker, the container company. Well, Phil here is our Chicago Bears fan in the house. So I guess if any of you guys know a good coach, Phil would certainly be eternally grateful to you. Uh,
Yeah.
a quick minute here before we go to the housekeeping, before we get started. Phil, if you can just move the slide, we'll go to the housekeeping items. So first of all, this call will be recorded and we will be making it available on our AKS YouTube channel for all of those who could not join us live today. You can, of course, subscribe to this channel by searching for at the AKS channel on YouTube. And that's where you will find this video as well as some of the past recordings. Like in December, we actually did a recording with the announcements made for KubeCon and Ignite, and you would find that on the YouTube channel as well. We are definitely very excited to see you here, but we would love for you to spread the word with your friends or coworkers who are also working with AKS. And the link to our community calls page is right here, akms/AKS/community calls. And that's where you would find more information on these community calls going forward as well. During the course of this meeting, all participants will be muted throughout the call just to ensure a smooth and uninterrupted session. There is an option for you to ask questions during this call. If you're logged in from iOS app though, do note that the Q&A feature may not work very well. So we do recommend you switch to a web browser if you wish to ask questions. We have several members of our product team on this call today who will be able to help you answer those questions. If you prefer, you can also ask the questions anonymously. All of these questions are going to be moderated as well. Lastly, we would love to hear from you on the content that you should want to see from the AKS team going forward. You'll see a QR code here on this page, and you can use that to provide feedback around content. What would you like to see us work on? What would you like to bring to you in terms of content? We would love to hear from you. Well, that being said, thank you for joining us today, and let's get started with today's roadmap call. Over to you, Phil.
All right. Thank you, Sanket. And Happy New Year to everyone. We're super excited to kick this off and kind of pull the veil back a little and show you some of our engineering processes and hygiene. As far as what you can expect for this call, we're going to go through this agenda. And what it's going to look like is we're going to kick it off and we're going to talk about things that are going to be either retiring, close to retiring, and deprecating. So we'd like to get this up in front for you so that, if you're using one of those services, you have an action plan to move to the newer version of that service. Once I go through that, we're actually going to go to the our project board. So if you see the link there at the bottom, aka.ms/AKS/roadmap, we're going to go directly to the board. This is exactly what we do internally. So you'll kind of get this same experience that we do as we do our readouts. Once we're on the board, I'm going to first, we're going to go kind of backwards from how the board generally will burn down. But we'll talk about things that are in general availability. Next, then we'll touch on things that are going to be in public preview. And then finally, we're going to talk about things that are in progress. What you'll see here is some of the timeline. So most of the things that are going to be in public preview could range from 3 to 6 months. We'll try to highlight those that we feel maybe the timeline's a little different. And the same with in progress. Most of those are going to be 6 months plus. But again, if we have any updates, I'll touch on those as well. And then finally, before we get into it, we got to keep the lawyers paid. This is just a disclaimer again. We're doing this as a good faith thing and really providing estimates that we feel are fairly accurate. But again, we're dealing with software and then we're also dealing with parts of the Azure platform that we don't control. So some of these timelines may change. But the good thing is we're going to introduce you to the project board and we'll keep those updates with those items if there's any changes from there. So kicking us off, let's talk about the AKS things that are going to be retiring and or deprecating. First thing that we have is the retirement of the HTTP application routing add-on. If you are using this, we would ask you to move to the newer version of this, which is the app routing add-on. And we have a link supplied here for a migration if you are actually using the HTTP application routing add-on. Next, we'll highlight the deprecation of pod identity. Again, if you're using pod identity, I'm not sure how much runway is left. We can get that to you as far as that being in support, but we would encourage you to move to the next version of this, which is workload identity. And again, there's a link there for you to visit, and you'll be able to see how you can migrate off of any pod identity workloads that you are using today. Next, let's jump into our GA announcements. It's a really small list for this month, but we have GA, the app routing add-on. And so if you're interested in how to utilize this for your ingresses and things of that nature, feel free to click that link and get an overview. And that'll give you some information on the app routing add-on. Okay, so with that said, now I'm actually going to go to the board. So I'm going to kind of move out of this slide for the time being. And it's set up. Okay, so hopefully everyone can see this. And team, let me know if I need to zoom in. Hopefully this is showing well for you all. We're going to start with the public preview here. So hopefully that's sent it for everyone. And again, this won't be an exhaustive readout of every item in here. We just don't have that much time to do so. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on things that we know or have a lot of activity and that we got some really strong timelines to share with you. So I'll just start walking down the public preview column right now. Things that we're going to highlight here are going to be the schedule max queue default change from 5 to 1. This deals with the topology spread constraints, and ultimately this is going to help you have even distribution of pods on your nodes that are in separate zones. We're slated to have this in Q1 this calendar year. Next, there's going to be a couple that I want to kind of bundle up and highlight at once. The setcomp default and custom node configuration, along with the update GPU driver type for Windows GPU, AKS communication manager, and then finally the restrict traffic to IMDS endpoints. Those are all going to be available this Q1 as well. These have a dependency on the next Kubernetes API. So we're waiting on 1.32 to become available, and then these will flow right into GA. As we continue on, let's see, the static egress gateway. This is set to GA either late Q1 or early Q2. And let's see, we'll go to the install custom CA trust on AKS nodes. This is also set to land in Q1. Keep going down. AKS Automatic, this is a popular one. This is a pretty large update with a lot of tests. We're looking to GA this in Q2, roughly around MS build. So that's May timeframe. So we hope to see this kind of cross the finish line for Q2. Azure CNI pod subnet static block allocation. This is also going to be roughly around the MS build timeframe, so we'll say Q2 as well. This depends on some host features being available, and this will solve being able to pass the current 65,000 route mapping limit that we have today. Next, I want to highlight the API server VNet integration. So updates are actually being deployed on the platform as we speak, and we're looking to have this Q1, maybe Q2, but we're pushing to get Q1 for this to be available. Initialization of taints. There is a lot of API design in this. This will allow you to taint your nodes at Bootstrap and be protected from any platform reconciliation. This is probably going to be more in the Q3 timeframe, so the latter half of this year. Next up, so Carpenter support for auto scaling. This is actually going to go pretty quick. We're looking at Q1 at the end of this month, actually. So we should see that here pretty soon. See if there's anything else. So Kato, this is the AI toolchain operator add-on. This has a dependency on Carpenter as well. So once Carpenter GAs, this will shortly follow that. And so we're looking at end of Q1, possibly Q2, just if there's any additional testing once Carpenter goes GA. And the last that we can talk about the AKS private egress for your network isolated clusters. There's a lot of work in the ecosystem to ensure that the add-ons are going to be supported and extensions, but we are actually tracking Q1 for that availability. And that's going to be it for what we are going to highlight in this column. Again, if there's something that you're interested in this column, feel free to put that into chat and maybe we can touch on it and provide you an update. And as always, you can actually go to these links and ask any questions or update and provide any questions as well. Okay, so now that we have public preview out of the way, let's go to some of the more longer term items in progress. And so we do actually have a bit here that we are going to touch on. Let's start from the top. So let's see, support for AMD GPUs. We're working on the design for this, the operator and the driver support. This is most likely going to be about 6 months out, 6-month time frame. So possibly early Q2 and could bleed into Q3. Managed domains and SSL certificates for AKS clusters with app routing. This is probably going to be about 3 to 6 months out from that, moving into public preview. Container 2.0 support in AKS. This is dependent on the next wave of Kubernetes releases becoming available. So we'll tag this at about the 3-month time frame. The support for user namespaces. Again, this is dependent on some kernel features in Ubuntu 24.04. So this is roughly about 3 months out for this one. see what else we got. Support for App Gateway for containers and App Gateway add-on. This is a replacement for AGIC, so the App Gateway Ingress Controller. There's work on the platform for the APIs to make this happen. So we are tracking roughly about 3 months for this. So we'll give this a 3-month time frame. Next up, let's see, custom virtual network support and AKS automatic. Uh, we should see this roughly around MS Build 2, so Q2. And other kind of features dealing with AKS automatic should be around that time frame as well. Support Istio Gateway API in, let's see, for the application add-on run. This is probably Q2. We're looking at definitely 3 to 6 month time frame. There's a lot of work with Gateway API integration. So yeah, this is a big work effort. So yeah, 3 to 6 months, maybe on the higher end of that for this. Have allow for migration for VMAS to VMs. This is going to be in that 3 month time frame as well. This is dependent on virtual machine node pools. The experience that you could probably see for this is you'll migrate to the VM node pools and then update the set for that, and then we'll automatically kind of migrate that over for you. So that's going to be the experience, but this is about 3 months out. As well as the allow migration from the standard load balance from the basic load balance to standard. Again, this is dependent on VM node pools as well. We're still working on the experience. This probably may incur a slight service interruption, but we're looking to be able to preserve those IPs and get things up as running with limited impact there. Let's keep moving. Blue-green cluster Kubernetes upgrades. This is going to allow you to kind of, if you have automations as the way you're doing your upgrades, blue-green, you'll be able to kind of offload that to the platform. And this is trending, probably closer to the 6 month time frame. There's obviously a lot of work ensuring that your upgrades are successful. And so there's a ton of testing going on there. Next, observability for long-running operations. We have a lot of work in flight for this, but this is going to be around the 3 month time frame. You can expect to see that. And let's see, we also have the Azure CNI powered by Cilium Layer 7 CRD network policy. So in addition to FQDNs, you'll be able to support L7 for this, and we're tracking this at about the 3 months time frame. We got emit node auto repair for Kubernetes events. So we're working on we're reworking the way we're doing kind of auto repair and remediation capabilities. To be able to provide a little more action on anything that freezes, et cetera. So this is tracking at about the 3 to 6 month time frame. Going here, max block nodes to control cluster size limit. This is moving fairly fast. This is going to be roughly at the end of Q1. And we also have here, let's see, the custom CA for Windows. This will bring support for private registries, to use certificates and identity for authentication. This is at the 6 months time frame. We can expect to see that. Metric server runs with insecure, the kubelet command there. This is about 1 to 2 months out. So this is actually trending pretty fast for us. Component version API. This will show version compatibility with components on the cluster. This is about 3 to 6 month time frame out. The AKS VNet multi-tenancy. Most likely this is 6 months out. We're currently looking at the design and how this scales, and we are also looking for if you have scenarios concerning this, please do update this item here. We want to make sure that we're covering kind of all the cases and any additional edge cases that may be out there. So if this is something that you're really interested in, I'd ask you to kind of update this item here and explain your scenario so that we can make sure that we're tracking that. Let's see, we got ADO in automated deployments. This is going to allow you to use your ADO pipelines for deployments for AKS. This is probably within 3 months, so I wouldn't say this is probably either late Q1, early Q2 at the most. You could currently kind of kick the tires with this with the open source draft version of this, but we're just kind of tightening up some of the portal UI aspects of this, so we should see this here fairly soon. Which are the ones that we can highlight here? Multiple load balance support. I know this is popular. This is within 3 months, so maybe end of calendar Q1 or very early Q2 there. Let's talk about the so AD enable SSH. This is trending roughly about 3 to 6 months, but if this is an important feature, please let us know. We can actually change the priority, based on that signal. But currently, right now, it is 3 to 6 months. But if we get enough people chiming in on this, we can actually change the priority of this in the backlog and see if we can move much quicker on it. Support for Windows Server 2005. This is again roughly 3 to 6 months time frame there. And let's see, manage the Istio egress gateway support. We're looking to have this in preview within the next 3 months. We're getting towards the end here. Let's see which other ones that we can kind of highlight for you all. The auto instrumentation with App Insights. We're looking to move this into preview soon. There's just some internal platform releases that need to happen to support this. So this is probably Q1, Q2. So within the next 3 months there. Trust domain workload identity federation. This is trending about the 3 to 4 month time frame. And so those that are familiar with this, this is going to help you with that limitation of the 20 federated identity credential limits that we currently have. So we're definitely pushing on this as we got a lot of feedback on that being kind of an obstacle in certain environments. And I think that's all the highlights. Yeah, let me touch on this one. So the app gateway for containers and the Azure CNI overlay support, this is moving actually pretty quick. So we're looking to have this available or in public preview here at the end of Q1. So those are the ones that we wanted to highlight. Second, I don't see the chat. I'm gonna come back to chat, but
Yeah,
I think
not a problem. I think once you're done, we can go to some of the questions that we have in the chat as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much the highlights that we want to talk about currently right now. Go ahead and get this here.
Awesome.
Yep.
So I'm going to go through some of the questions that we have in the chat. Some of them are already answered in the chat, but we'll cover them here anyways.
Okay.
One question was, are there any comments on specific features on Kubernetes AI toolchain operators, Kaito? The Kaito added model fine-tuning a few months ago, and there are some of the other updates as well. The link is shared on the response to that question. RAG is another key feature that we are still working on at the moment. So some those are some updates there. Moving on to the next question, if there is any news on Argo CD for GitOps as an extension. Again, I think as a response to the question, there was another link shared in the chat. Do take a look at that. If we have an article around GitOps for Azure Kubernetes Service, and Argo CD does feature in as one of the options there. I'm hoping that does answer your question. If there are more specifics that are needed, feel free to drop them in the response to question, and we'll make sure that we get to that. The next question was if there are any plans on improving logging options in the app routing add-on. So there are a few things which teams are working on. The log flows to STD out, which could now be sent to log analytics. There are a few other additions as well. Again, if there are specific improvements that you are looking for around logging, we would be happy to understand those as well. And if there are if the question is also specifically around changing of log levels, that's also something which we would love to understand from you. The next one is a node auto provisioning, if the GA will cover other network CNIs. The question says we have a strong limitation with Azure CNI overlay powered by Cilium during the public preview. And the networking for GA, again, there is a response to this question as well from Wilson Darko, who is our PM working on this feature. And we will be supporting CNI overlay, and CNI overlay with Cilium through the GA. The next one is around communications manager, if it will become part of the native email alert methods rather than using a custom logic app and event hub. This one, I think we'll have to follow through on this question, and we'll make sure we have a response on this prior to this video being uploaded on the YouTube.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. Let us get an answer back on that one.
Yeah. I think the last one that we have is if there is any news on the VNet API integration GA. Brian just responded on that one. We do not have any official dates to share on this yet. We do acknowledge that this is a long preview, but then there are dependencies from the networking side that we are still working on. So we don't have any official dates yet, but as you see, we do have this monthly call going on. And every time we do have an update, we will be bringing it to this forum. Let's give a few minutes to see if there are any other questions that are coming in. And I'm going to go through the list again just to make sure that we have all the questions accounted for. By the way, just a quick note, you did see the board here for the AKS features. If any issue is not currently there on the roadmap, or you feel that there is a need for a new feature or an issue, just feel free to post an issue for triage, and our team will look at that as a potential addition to the roadmap as well.
Yeah, I just want to underscore again, we've made this roadmap available. I think this is a long time ago. So again, this is a way for you to interface with us. If there's an item up here, or if there's an issue that you may have, please just update one of these items. We do, again, triage this, and then we look at this. So this is actually probably one of the more fastest ways to interact with us.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks, Phil. All right, so if there are no other questions, then I think we can we can close this call. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us today. We will be having this call on a monthly basis here, as well. So feel free to join in. Feel free to invite more of your coworkers who might be working with AKS as well. And do take a do take a moment to go through the roadmap as we start looking at the call next month. We would love to see if you have any additional questions on the roadmap as well. Lastly, to close out, we do really want to hear from you. So if you have feedback to be shared on the content, not just around this call, but also in general around the content that you would like to see from AKS team, we would like to hear that. So take a moment to go through this QR code, take a feedback. It should be like a very quick feedback, just a couple of questions there, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you again, and everyone have a great day.